Hello and welcome to the Dragon Den. I'm King of Dragons 5000 and today I have another action figure review. Today I'll be taking a look at the Hiya Toys Heat Ray Godzilla Hokkaido version from Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. And before we have a look at Godzilla, let's take a moment to thank today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Gundamit.com. Action figures, model kits, and other collectibles, check out Gundamit.com with a link in the description. As we get Godzilla out of the packaging, you can see that this is the 1991 version of the King of the Monsters. However, this is the Heat Ray version, meaning that his dorsal plates are going to be cast in translucent blue plastic. Godzilla will come with 2 sets of claws, as well as his atomic breath. As we take Godzilla out of the packaging, Hiya Toys has done an excellent job with this version of Godzilla. This version of Godzilla is modeled after the Hokkaido version of the King of the Monsters, and it's done very well. As we take a look at the head sculpt, Hiya Toys has done an excellent job with Godzilla's head. I really do like the menacing scowl that they gave Godzilla, and the paint job on his eyes is done very well. My version of Godzilla does have his eyes facing forward, which is done very well. And on either side of Godzilla's head, you can see they even sculpted his ears. And on the back of his head, the dorsal plates are sculpted nicely, and on this version you can see some paint is applied to the middle dorsal plates. The inside of Godzilla's mouth is going to be sculpted very nicely, as we do have 2 rows of teeth. Despite being sculpted very small, the teeth are painted very well and in a really good contrast to the rest of his mouth. Hiya Toys has done an excellent job with Godzilla's chest. As you can see, it's sculpted very well. His upper torso is going to be sculpted exactly what we saw in the movie, and I really do like the detailing with the sculpted scales. And we do have some nice wrinkles that you can see on Godzilla's abdomen. And I do like the inclusion of a wash that helps bring out all those details on Godzilla's scales. Godzilla's arms are going to be cast in that same dark gray plastic, and the sculpt work on it is still phenomenal. Just like with his body, we are going to get a little bit of a dry brush that brings out all that nice detail on his arms. And as we move down to Godzilla's hands, you can see that his claws are going to be painted, and each claw is painted very nicely. As this is a reflection of the Heisei era of Godzilla, you can see that he's going to have these massive legs. His legs are rather muscular and are sculpted very nicely to include all those impressive detail as well as the scales. And just like with the rest of his body, he's going to have this brown wash which only highlights all those impressive details. And as we go down to his feet, you can see that they are sculpted nicely with claws at the end of each toe. The claws have some really nice sculpt work to them, but the paint is exceptional as it does reflect what we saw in the movie. On Godzilla's back, he is going to have his signature dorsal plates, and these ones are going to be done in translucent blue plastic. The larger plates are going to be more predominant in that translucent blue, and I really do like the frosted tips that they gave Godzilla. And despite being cast in translucent plastic, you can still see all those impressive details on all of Godzilla's dorsal plates. And I do like the fact that the translucent plates go all the way down to about the 4th segment on his tail. The rest of Godzilla's tail is going to be done in multi-segmented ball joints, and all the joints on his tail are sculpted very nicely. At the base of his tail, you can see that there is 1 dorsal plate which is slightly translucent, and the rest of it is painted in gray. And the rest of Godzilla's dorsal plates running down the length of his tail are also going to be painted in gray. Although the length of his tail is in question, as some people say it's too long, some people say it's just right, in my honest opinion, I think this tail is done very well and replicates what we saw in the movie. Overall, Hiya Toys has once again knocked it out of the park with a brand new Godzilla figure with exceptional details. I do like the paint job on Godzilla's dorsal plates, especially the translucent blue ones, as it does replicate charging up energy. Add to it the brown wash brings out all the details on Godzilla's body, bringing the figure together nicely. With the paint and details out of the way, let's compare Godzilla to our usual suspects. As expected, Godzilla is going to be in a scale all his own and doesn't quite fit in with domestic toy lines. Godzilla is going to be more in scale with other figures of his line, including the Hiya Toys King Ghidorah. Godzilla will have a hinge in his jaw. He will have a double ball joint in his head, a ball joint in the middle of his neck, and a double ball joint at the base of his neck. Ball jointed arms will hinge out to the side and do a full 360. He will have a ball joint in the bicep and a ball joint in the forearm, a ball joint in the wrist, and a double ball joint in his hand. Godzilla is going to have a double ball joint in his midsection. Ball jointed legs will kick forward, go back, out to the side, and have a slight rotation. Godzilla's knees will bend and they will have ball joints at the top and bottom of his leg. Godzilla will have a ball joint in his ankle. Godzilla will have multiple ball joints in the base of his tail going all the way to the tip of his tail. The Heisei era of Godzilla is probably my favorite era, as that was the time I started watching Godzilla movies. And once again, Hiya Toys proves why they're probably the best at making Godzilla figures, as this is a very well made figure. This version of Godzilla is accurate to the Hokkaido battle we saw with King Ghidorah, and they did a very good job with all the little details. The added brown wash does bring out all those nice details that we see in Godzilla's scales, making the figure look that much better. And on my version, I am happy that the eyes are looking forward, because I have seen some videos where the eyes are just slightly wonky. Although I'm probably never going to use it, I do like the fact that they included alternate hands for Godzilla. But my favorite accessory has to be the atomic breath, as that fits in his mouth very nicely and makes for a very dynamic figure. I do like the inclusion of the translucent blue dorsal plates, as it does make the figure look even better. At the time I'm making this video, Godzilla was released overseas, and I did pick up my version from Gundamit.com. Unfortunately, at the time I'm making this video, they are sold out, so you do have to wait for Godzilla to come stateside to pick him up. And huge shout out to Gundamit.com for supplying this figure so I could review it for you guys. If you want to support the Dragon Den, check out Gundamit.com, where they do have a huge array of first party and third party action figures, model kits, and other collectibles. So with that being said, thank you for watching another video here on the Dragon Den, but before you go, don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out the rest of my Godzilla videos. If you're in a position to help out the Dragon Den, check out my Patreon, where I have some exclusive content and early access videos. Check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, videos, recent pickups, latest prints, and as always, ring that bell so you never miss another video. And until next time, my loyal Dragonites, coming from the Dragon Den, I'm King of Dragons 5000, reminding you to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. I'll see you next time.